Story time. My first time smoking legal weed. This was when I was in LA and back in July. I arrived to LA very late at night, so no dispensaries were open, so I was stuck with my own stash of weed for that night. I had 3 grams on me this night, so that's a good amount for a personal sesh. So I rolled up a good 3 J's, smoked them all, and then went to bed. I didn't know any spots or any parks or area of LA, so I came there a little bit unprepared. So my ideal smoke spots were just sitting on the curb in front of like rich people's houses in Ladera Heights. But nobody really cares, surprisingly, so I'm just chilling. Next day rolls around. First thing I think about when I wake up is like, all right, bet, what's the first dispensary am I gonna hit up? The closest dispensary that was closest to my Airbnb is MedMen Dispensary close to the LAX airport. They were under construction, but they were still open. So I was a little bit confused on how to get in at first, but it was a security guard, and the security guard had told me everything. All right, you just go in through here to ask for your ID and blah, 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 blah. The minute I stepped inside of the building, I smell loud. I'm like, oh, I know where I'm at now. So I'm just walking towards the door, and I see the little weed sign. I'm like, bet, that's the dispensary. First thing I get there, they asked me for my ID before I get into the dispo, scanned my ID, and then I went to inside the dispo, and it was very, very like very nice and organized. It was very small, so it wasn't like anything too crazy, but I still saw a whole lot of different products I wanted to buy. So the bud tender asked me, yo, like, what you looking for? What's the first idea? Are you looking for dabs, pre-rolls, other stuff like that? And the first thing I asked him was for dabs. I asked him what was the strongest shit I can get, and he showed me live rosin, solventless wax, and I'm like, wow, bro, and it looks so good. It smelled so good. I brought that was the first thing I brought. It's $100 a gram, including tax, but it's worth it. I've brought that along with a cartridge, a couple of pre-rolls, and that's it. If you guys are wondering what was the very, very first thing I tried after that dispensary trip, it was the cartridge because obviously I had a pen, I can screw it in. I remember when I got back to my Airbnb, I inhaled it, nothing was coming out at first. I'm like, wait a minute, oh, well, that's because I haven't hit a cart in a very long time, and you gotta screw it in a little bit more in. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I've inhaled it. I'm like, whoa, that tastes so good. After that, I never went back to street carts ever again. But the best experience that day is when I went all the way to Malibu. I had a West Coast Cure pre-roll. It was wedding cake, the strain, if you guys are wondering. And I was smoking right next to like old people that was listening to like rock music, all this classic, stuff. It was awesome. I would definitely recommend it.